Now, we all know that marketing has changed exponentially over the past 10 years. And we know that it's not us as marketeers driving this change. It's our consumers. And we are left racing to keep up. And we absolutely do need to keep up. Not just in order to stay relevant, but also to take advantage of the amazing opportunities that ad and marketing technology present us with today. And if we have a look at our connected consumer and where they're spending their time and how much of their time they're spending online, we very quickly see that if digital was ever considered niche, today it's absolutely mass media. Digital has greater reach at almost every time of day, including prime time. And so much of this time online is on mobile, 53% here in Asia Pacific. And that means that we're finding new ways to fit media into our day, often for shorter chunks of time, often on the move, but we're actually getting more media into our day by being connected up via mobile. This presents us with 4 trends that we see reflected globally and here in APAC. The first is social fragmentation. We spend more of our time on instant messaging and social networks than any other digital activity. They're the first activities adopted by new users to the internet, and they're the most popular activity in every market. But it is a fragmented landscape. We're using up to 3 different apps or platforms on a daily basis and up to 5 weekly. And the most socially engaged brands understand this, and they know how to work within the possibilities and actually occasionally within the restrictions of some of the different and newer social platforms. And that might mean that they're working with Facebook silent movies or Snapchat filters or line stickers. But they understand that their audience may be spending their time in a different place, and they understand they need to take a different approach to meet them there. The second trend we see is the move from TV to content. Now, as marketeers, we've been talking about the decline of TV for well over a decade. Yes, in some parts of the world, broadcast TV is in decline. It fell by 12% in the US last year alone. But the explosion of online, on-demand video content has been phenomenal. We're watching more video content than we've ever watched before. What we see is that heavy viewers of online video watch pretty much the same broadcast TV as light viewers of online video. They're finding new ways to fit TV content into their day. It's clear. The future is not about channels and networks and programming grids. The future is about fully searchable databases of content, the ability to watch what we want to watch, when we want to watch it, and how we want to watch it. We need to stop focusing on the prime time slot and start focusing on the content that our audience is watching. The third trend we see is the data exchange economy. Now, the digital world has made unprecedented opportunities available to us to target and retarget our campaigns to our customers. But there's been a bit of a backlash recently. We've seen the introduction of ad blockers, and there's been a lot of fear-mongering in our industries. Are we actually facing the risk, the threat of ad blockalypse? But the reality is, people are more positive than negative about behavior targeting, if it means better, more creative ads. It goes to the extent of understanding the value of the data and the value of the data exchange. And that's about delivering new types of value to our customers. The final trend we see is not just e-commerce, it's e-commerce everywhere. Now, we know that in Asia Pacific, e-commerce has a long way to go to reach its peak. But we also know that we're becoming more comfortable with e-commerce. And we know that the infrastructure developments are starting to be put in place to make e-commerce accessible to more of us. And like everything else that we do online, we're increasingly doing it via mobile. But the real story here, or the trend, if you like, is the impact that mobile is having on retail. Deloitte estimate that $1 trillion of retail is being influenced by mobile. And that doesn't mean people shopping on their phones. That means people researching a product set in store, researching the store location and opening hours, trying to find out about product availability, trying to find the product when they get in store. So we need to understand that the power of e-commerce is not just as a conversion tool. It actually exists as a brand engagement platform, a product information platform, a customer engagement platform. So to recap briefly, we know our consumer is constantly connected. We know that that's often via mobile. They are highly socially engaged. They're using a wide variety of different platforms and services. We know that they're watching more TV content than ever before, but it's not necessarily broadcast TV. And we know that actually they're not adverse to giving away some of their data as long as they get something back in return. And finally, we know that the power of e-commerce is not just in sales conversion, it's actually everywhere. And the power of e-commerce is increasingly via mobile.